Death Star, man.
Nobody calls Han Solo a bitch.
Bring him on. I prefer a straight fight to all this sneaking around.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
Oh, come on, bro. It's the wars.
We've had some Star Wars downtime before, but I'll tell you what, it is something else when there's a strike going on. This is the Wars of More. I'm Joe. Of course, with me is my good buddy Doug. Hey, Doug, how you doing this week?
Doing pretty good, Joe. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Man, I gotta stop myself. I don't have a third person to introduce.
This is true. Yeah. Hunter has left the building.
Sadness.
Yes.
It was fun though. It was fun
was.
having him on.
It was.
But man, I tell you what, he'd be heating this because it is slow.
Right.
Slow. There ain't nothing to talk about.
No, but we're here talking, so.
We're here talking. We've got some stuff. We are scraping the bottom of the barrel, but we're going to try and make it entertaining.
Right.
I mean, the strike, right? The strike dragging on. We're missing out on material I think that would be coming.
Agreed. Yes.
We don't see a gallery-like release for Ahsoka.
Right.
This, I think, is due to the fact that I think they used a good portion of their gallery content for Master and Apprentice to try and get something out to promote Ahsoka while the strike's going on and they don't have the actors at their disposal.
Right.
So I believe that robbing of that material made it to where now they don't have follow-up material.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, I believe there hasn't been anybody to kind of like comb through all the footage that they have and put it together, you know? And they always do the ancillary interviews and stuff, and, you know, people like Dave Filoni and Kathleen Kennedy, they're not going to be out there doing that right now, you know, now with the strike going on. So, to actually put a final product together, yeah, it's going to be a bit, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the good news is that the writer's strike is over.
Right.
You know, there was a deal there. The writer's strike is over. So now
you
the pre-production stuff of content is moving forward.
You better get to writing though. You know, you've been down for 6 months. Let's
right.
At least whatever it's been.
Should have some good ideas.
Yeah.
You know, unless you've been putting all the effort into those signs, which is not the case.
Yeah, true.
I kid. But, yeah, but at least now those future projects are moving forward again, hopefully. Hopefully. This is Disney Star Wars. We can't be too sure of these things.
Right.
But hopefully that's the case. And this material will be ready when the Actors Guild strike is up and they can start production. But what the SAG strike has brought on us is there's no post-show content, interviews, all that good stuff that we would be used to seeing. You know, the late night shows, right?
Right.
Have you watched any since they've come back?
I have not.
It is.
I've been seeing the commercials where they're all saying, "We're back," you know.
Right, but it's like they shouldn't be because the actors aren't coming.
Right.
Because they're still on strike.
Yes.
So yeah, you got the writers, you got the hosts, but they're not bringing on actors to talk about movies and projects upcoming and things like that.
Right.
Which is like their meat and potatoes.
No, that's totally true.
So I just I don't know where we're gonna go from here. How long this is gonna last, and I would assume that it won't last much longer now that the other strike, the writer's strike, is done.
Right.
But this AI thing is really, really sticking.
It's a sticking point for them for sure. That's you know.
I mean, kudos to them because they think the technology is going to get better. I think right now they have nothing to fear. I don't know how long they're signing a contract for. Apparently the contract's going to be for at least like 20 years because I think that's how far out we are from this shit actually being worth a damn.
Right.
Because I'm sorry. I'm not with it with AI yet. I know everybody's crazy about it, but it is just not there.
I mean,
it is not there where you're going to be replacing actors right now.
I don't know if it's AI necessarily as so much as just the computer generated, stuff itself. I mean, I don't know how you use AI with that. I'm sure you can. There's probably a way, I guess, but it's like, you're not going to be getting any like detailed lead roles from it. That's for sure.
Right.
If you're shooting B-roll for something, it's like, oh, I need a group of people over here. Maybe it can do something like that where they're kind of like fuzzy in the background.
Which could be because, I mean, all you need to be in SAG is a speaking role, right? So if you say a couple words,
maybe. I have no idea what it takes.
I'm guessing here. I think it's a speaking role.
Right.
Like if you say 2 words, you're SAG eligible. So,
yeah, but then you got to go down and pick it and all kinds of stuff.
Do you got to go? Do they make you?
I don't know. Probably not.
I mean, granted, those are the ones probably picketing because they need the strike money.
This would really affect them. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, those are the ones that are going to be out there doing the footwork because, I mean, I'm pretty sure Jack Black don't need strike money.
Exactly.
Sorry, Jack Black, for picking him out, right?
I was going to say, there's, any myriad of people, actors that you could say that about. Arnold Schwarzenegger. The guy's so flamboyant that, like, he sticks out. Okay, yeah.
And he was in Star Wars recently, so.
Right.
Top of my head. Talking Star Wars, pick an actor. Picked a guy who's, like, shaking when he talks, like he's channeling as Chris Farley.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, who knows how long this drags out and how long we're going to be missing the bonus content.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of selfish to say it like that, but I pay you.
I mean, this is what it's supposed to do, right? The strike is supposed to affect the final product, the bottom line, and we're talking about it, So, this is what it's supposed to do. I mean,
you know what's funny is it took getting the bonus content for me to really notice.
Exactly. It is true. Like all of the non-Star Wars material, it's like, oh, I guess I'll just watch this show I haven't watched yet.
Well, I guess when you're not getting new content, it's like, well, I haven't seen it yet anyway, so it don't matter.
Right.
But when I see a show and then it's Star Wars, I expect to see bonus content after. Now I'm not getting that. Now I noticed.
Yes, exactly.
I will be completely honest. I did not even notice a difference with the strikes going on.
Right.
It really impacted me 0.
Right.
But once Ahsoka wrapped, I'm like, I wish I'd get this over with. I want my damn bonus content.
Exactly.
So. That's really funny to think about.
Well, I mean,
that's where we are as Star Wars fans.
Where we are, yes.
Yeah, we're missing our bonus content, damn it. But all right, we've had time for Ahsoka to marinate. We got to dwell on it a little bit.
Right.
Looking back, like it's been a year.
Remember way back when we had Ahsoka, Joe?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, with what I've been looking for to watch, it seems like way back.
I know.
I'm actually watching The British Office now. Like this.
Oh wow.
That's what I'm watching right now.
Interesting.
So yeah, we're reaching.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of funny. But yeah, so looking back, how do you feel about it now? Do you still feel the same? Is it still sitting in the same kind of enjoyable position it was?
Yeah. It all culminated to a head for me with story. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Where I am definitely left in a spot where I can't wait to see what comes next, because, you know, we are left with a lot of speculation, right? We've got the Mortis stuff, you know, the potential there, and, you know, even, you know, Hunter's theories of Abeloth and all that. It's like, that's interesting. Who knows? But
which is funny because, yeah, he's not back joining us, but it doesn't stop him from still messaging me, telling me how right he is.
yeah, awesome.
It is awesome. It is awesome. And I'll tell you what, like, the more I see, the more I think he may be onto something with that, but
Right.
we'll see. We'll see. I can't imagine them bringing in another big bad.
Well, you know, there's okay, so he sparked off this what would you call it? This level up achievement that I have to do here. This I think we're both going to try and do this reading the Fate of the Jedi books. Now,
No, we'll call that a rabbit hole.
It is. Okay, so
Okay.
it's not a level up, it is down a rabbit hole. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It is not canon, so it's not leveling up.
okay. It is going to be an achievement, though, that's for sure. I gotta say, it's
Yeah, I'd actually like kind of change the grading on that. It's not much a rabbit hole as a black hole.
there you go. Yeah.
'Cause I'm struggling.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
Yes, they are a struggle to get through. That's for sure.
I am realizing now why I stopped reading these books.
Same here. Now, mind you, these are no Aftermath series. You know, they're not that bad, but they are.
No, but they're a problem for a different reason.
Right.
Like Aftermath lost me because Aftermath jumps around. He put a whole lot of emphasis on characters that in the end didn't really matter.
Right.
You know, like it was like he was constantly trying to keep the audience off balance and tricked.
Yeah.
And that just didn't sit right with me. Like you get to the end of Aftermath and you're like, I don't know why we did all that.
Exactly.
So that's different than what I got here. Like with the Fate of the Jedi books, I don't, how do I say this in the nicest way possible? There are times where I feel like I'm reading a 4th grade book.
Ooh. Ouch. Okay. Yeah.
Am I wrong?
I mean, I see where you're coming from. I don't know if I'd put it in those terms exactly, but I see where you're coming from. It's, you know, it's tough sometimes. It's a struggle to get through sometimes. But
like I felt like I was getting better material out of R.L. Stein.
what I will say about it, though, in reference to what Hunter brought up about Abeloth and stuff, I can see how the broad brushstrokes of story in Star Wars, it could lend itself like almost as an outline to pull from, you know. So it's not talking
without a doubt,
the fine details, you know, but broad brushstrokes.
without a doubt, some of the elements we've seen throughout Clone Wars, Rebels, now Ahsoka, there are elements that are being pulled from this series.
Oh, totally.
Without a doubt. And I
Yeah.
think that's the only thing that's keeping me holding on.
Right.
Because back before we had Rebels, before we had Ahsoka, yeah, these books did not grab me.
Right.
Like I finished now that I'm like halfway through the second one, which is what, like Abyss or something like that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Or Omen.
Omen. Yeah, there you go. Omen.
Like I'm almost done with Omen. And yeah, I'm in the struggle bus. But but when I finished Outcast, I'm like, yeah, I know why I stopped.
Right.
Because as the story goes, to me, it's just not that good.
Right.
You know, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is why the EU got the axe. Like,
yeah.
It's a nice reminder of that, but I mean, there's some stuff in the EU that they could have, you know, the axe could have went in the middle somewhere instead of like all the way at the end.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
They could have definitely kept some of the older stuff.
Right.
Before it got weird.
Right. And there's some weird stuff in this series. I'm going to say that. I just finished the third book. And I gotta say, yeah, still weird. but again, like I said, I'm starting to see where Hunter was coming from with that. So, you know, I'm hoping by the end of this series, like steeped in enough of the knowledge to really go back and watch Ahsoka from with all that in mind, and then, you know, really grasp what he was saying, because there's a lot of people on board with that thought. So,
oh yeah, I gotta say they're definitely pulling some content from it.
Right.
But it's broad content. It's not. There has been nothing so far that I'm like, oh, this is a direct pull.
Right. No, nothing like that.
There's no direct pulls. There's definite leaning towards parts of the story. Maybe Dave's sitting back like, man, this story had so much potential, but here's how we do it right.
Exactly.
So.
Could be that.
Because I definitely noticed the potential in the stories. Like, it's there.
Yeah.
There's moments where it does grab you. It's like, oh, this is good, and then it kind of fades.
Right.
Like, I gotta say, like, this is the most of all the EU stuff I've read. This seems like the most wasteful of Jaina's Solo.
Right.
The most wasteful of Han Solo.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Now, the stuff that I'm picking up on though, in regards to Ahsoka, is stuff like when there's reference to the old ones. You know, talking about Force users, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Luke is trying to inquire, you know, into. Oh, he's looking for, you know, what turned Jason Solo into Darth Caedus, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when there was a reference to the old ones, it was almost like a, you know, it was brought up and dropped right away, and Luke was, you know, trying to. It's like that's not his mission right now, kind of thing. But it's like, oh, that's a little sliver of, you know, what we're possibly looking at here. So, I don't know. Certainly cool in that way.
Yeah. But when they're explaining the techniques he's learning as the lightning rod technique.
Yes.
It's like, Okay, I'm listening. Well, if you screw up, you're like a lightning rod. It's like, what?
I know.
So you wait. You're naming the technique after the thing that happens if you mess it up.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And then Luke goes on saying it later, like, oh, yeah, he was using a lightning rod technique. It's like, ugh. Why don't you call it the try not to be a lightning rod technique?
Right. It is funny.
If you do this in a lightning storm,
Yeah.
you're going to get messed up.
You're dead. Yeah. But anyway,
Well,
that's
duly noted.
that's that's where I see some of it hitting on the notes in Ahsoka, though. So that's
All right, so
Cool.
it's settled. Someone's got to get struck by lightning.
okay. Not me. Not it.
All right. Kind of derailed it a little bit here.
A little.
I had a plan. It's gone. There was more with Ahsoka. What was this? Come on, Ahsoka. Okay, so you have this, Doug, right? The numbers. The numbers are in.
Right. So, yes. I'm looking at CVR here. This is okay, and they're quoting Screen Rant. Okay, but
Yay.
yeah, but I mean, it's the numbers of the numbers, so Ahsoka season 1, episode 8. So we're talking the finales here, okay? Was watched by 863,000 U.S. households during its first 5 days on Disney Plus. That places Ahsoka finale in between the finales of The Mandalorian season 3 and Andor season 1, which were watched by 1.5 million and 591,000 U.S. households, respectively. So, the viewership of Ahsoka outpaced Andor by 46% and trailed The Mandalorian by 42%. Almost like right dead smack in the middle, kind of. But it's interesting. It's...
Okay, and so, and I think back to the premiere numbers, right? So when it premiered, it was the lowest performing Star Wars property to date.
Right.
Okay. So it went from the lowest performing to dead smack in the middle, above Andor, below Mandalorian.
Right.
So actually in second place at the finale.
Right.
I don't see where all this negativity is coming from. Like this is a huge positive improvement. Obviously the show had merits because it gained viewership as it went.
Yes. I will.
If you're going to stick on the premiere, I think that speaks more to, I mean, look at how Loki's doing.
How's Loki doing?
Struggling.
Oh, really?
They're all struggling.
Okay.
The Marvel properties, Star Wars, The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
It's all struggling, man.
It is all struggling. I will say that there's a lot of I think there's a lot of factors involved. One being economics, right? People are looking and it's like, okay, what monthly bill can I cut out to save a few bucks, right? That's going on a lot recently. Just in general talking with people. So maybe Disney Plus goes away a little bit, It's like I'll get it back when things
heat up.
Yeah, exactly. So that could factor in, you know. I had another thought. You know, I don't know.
Well, Disney came out swinging, right?
Yeah.
All right. At launch, Disney was swinging, and this, I think, is their misstep.
Yeah. This is a good point right here. Go ahead.
Here you have Disney making a streaming service. You don't need to come out swinging like you're brand new. All right, you're Disney.
Well,
You got a catalog,
yes.
and your catalog alone is going to draw the viewership. You didn't need to come out with The Mandalorian, with like this, like Marvel this, Marvel that, Star Wars this, Star Wars that. You didn't need to come out the gate like that. Right?
Right. So okay, I was actually tagging, you know, what you were saying. They came out swinging. I was actually approaching that from a different angle, because they also came out swinging with, here's a 3-year deal, you know, one-time payment, get Disney Plus for 3 years, and then it's going to be more after that, right? And I think that is also a way that they came out swinging. And,
well, the worst part is once you get to like, oh, it's going to go up to this after that.
right.
But like when you get to that, yeah, it's not going to be that anymore. It's going to be this because we're losing our ass.
Exactly.
So like, yeah, I mean, people are coming out of their 3-year deal and the price has gone up.
Yep.
Or you can get this cheaper version that's got commercials.
Yeah. Everyone always loves those.
No. No, they know no one pays for those.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, and then I think it was a little bit of a misstep too to acquire Hulu, to acquire ESPN, and not acquire ESPN, but to bundle ESPN and Hulu in a way that like, hey, it only makes sense to have Disney if you're going to do all three.
Right.
And I'm sure most people are like, they don't care. Like, why do I need 3? Like, in order for this to make financial sense for me, I have to have 3 streaming services.
Right.
Only one of which I'll watch.
Right.
You know, I think the bundling and all that stuff was a misstep.
Yeah. Well, when you do something like that, it kind of commoditizes it. It almost makes it feel like it's worth less, you know? So I can see where that would hurt them.
Well, it doesn't help when you, like, if you break down the price difference and stuff, it's like, well, those people are getting Disney Plus for $7.
Right.
You know, and you want me to pay 15, you know, like.
Right. And I do want to go back to your angle on this too. You know, you said they came out swinging with all these different shows and everything. That is actually an expenditure on the backside, right? You gotta pay to make all these things. That, you know, and you gotta recoup all that somehow.
Well, I mean, and at first it looked like they were gonna.
Yeah, true.
Because it's like, oh, we made all this stuff, but all these people signed up. And then they were like, shit, we got to keep making this stuff.
Right.
Wait, you mean people aren't staying out for, you know, they're not staying here for the catalog? No, because you came out swinging with new stuff.
Right.
Now people want new stuff. I mean, you're putting out Disney movies. Most of us have either the VHSs or the DVDs or both.
Right. Yeah.
You can watch this crap anytime.
Exactly.
I still got a VHS player that works.
I mean, you know, when it comes to Star Wars fans, yes, we're like that. We have the same movies in different mediums, and we can watch it however.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we're not going to save you if you spend $300 million on Loki.
Exactly. That's a whole nother thing. So I guess coming back around to the numbers, I guess with all of that being said, yes, Ahsoka's numbers are down, but in lieu of everything we've just been talking about, that's almost kind of to be expected,
Mm-hmm.
with the subscribership, falling the way it has, we know that's been going on for a little while. So that's the other thing, with these streaming services, there's so many, and people are like, if they're involved with other things, they'll binge
I think
a show from start to series finale on a streaming service, and then they'll cancel the service and pick up another streaming service and do the same thing again. So people don't have a problem with waiting now to see shows.
Right.
So
no, especially you can wait till they're just ready to binge.
exactly.
I mean, this is also might be a weekly release side effect.
Right.
It's like, okay, so I sign up for Disney Plus. You're gonna give me one show a week?
Yeah.
Like it's TV. I'm trying to get away from TV.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. There's that thought. Yep.
And now you want me to, like, if I want to pay this price still, I gotta get commercials?
Yes.
This is fucking TV.
Yep. And when it comes to marketing and stuff, Disney, they're the masters of the, better hurry, this movie's going back into the vault, right? They need some creativity, with this to
Well, yeah, I mean, the it's going back into the vault thing. Okay, yeah, you run the course on that one, okay?
exactly.
Because, man, it doesn't stay there for long.
Right.
And, man, it's so available now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going back into the vault. Okay, Pirate Bay for me. Not really, just saying.
Yeah.
But I think the other thing that they didn't foresee, right, is, and I actually didn't see this coming, and I gotta give these fans credit. Marvel fans, it is about time that you started holding them accountable for content.
Marvel fans are doing this.
Yes,
Wow. Excellent.
like Marvel was a sure thing.
Oh, yeah.
And not only was it a sure thing, they were going to watch it, guaranteed. Going to watch it, and then they were going to love it.
Yes, this was I don't want to call it a complaint, but an observation of yours from way back that, Marvel could do no wrong, whereas Star Wars fans were critical of the content they were receiving.
Well, you know what always bothered me too is, like, I knew so many people, right, that were Marvel fans because they read Marvel comics.
Yes.
And I always dabbled in Marvel comics. I was always more of a DC guy, but I always dabbled.
Right.
And I'm watching this stuff, and I'm like, guys, why are you loving this so much? Oh, I was a fan of Marvel comics. I'm like, yeah, that's my point. Are you watching this?
Yeah, this ain't what you had before. Yeah.
Right. It's totally different, but they still loved it. It's like they finally got their moment to shine.
Right.
The only thing that ever worked out for Marvel before was Spider-Man, right?
Yep.
And I guess once everything else started getting its moment in the sunlight, it's like, oh yeah, this is great. I'm like, really? Did you watch what they did? Was the Mandarin some drunk guy with, just hiding off, making fake videos? Is that something that happened in the comics? Or was the Mandarin like a guy that was after Infinity Ring?
Right.
So like, just kind of like, what are you doing here? And then now finally they're like, hey, they haven't been following the comics. It's like, duh. I mean, that's fine. You don't have to follow the comics. You don't have to follow things verbatim, but damn, just at least try a little.
Right.
And then they kind of realize that they've been getting the same story over and over again, just with different costumes.
Right. And characters, right? Pretty much.
Oh, yeah. Even the characters. I always thought the characters were kind of bland, except for the, core group.
Right.
I'll give them that. The core group that they had, they couldn't have cast better. It was really nice window dressing.
Right.
Because they cast really well. They played their roles really, really well. They fit the bill of their comic book counterparts really well. But the stories were just rehashes with different costumes.
Right.
I'm like, you guys are doing the same thing again. You're going to watch the first 30 minutes. Your hero is going to get the crap kicked out of them.
Right.
And then they're going to spend about 45 minutes to an hour figuring out how to not get the crap kicked out of them next time. And then they're going to win. It's literally the plot of all these movies.
Right. Well,
like a curveball every now and again would be great.
Yeah.
Someone needs to die every once in a while.
Oh, we have no issue with killing people off in Star Wars. That's for sure.
You can't kill new ones, though.
Not
Only
new
old
ones.
ones.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Only old ones. Kill the old ones. Keeps it fresh.
Yeah. Of course.
Let the past die.
Yes. Kill it if you have to.
Noted.
Yes.
All right. I'm done bashing on Marvel.
Yeah, it's all right.
But no, I take my hat off to Marvel fans for kind of standing up and saying, hey, what's going on here? Why are you doing this? Why you why are you abandoning us? We kept you afloat. Like, realizing that they kept them afloat, right?
Right.
Marvel was their bread and butter, and I can't fault them. The formula was working, and they kept hitting it. And
oh yeah, Disney's a company, and if they're making money, hey, let's do that again. Yeah, of course.
They kept them happy, and I mean, hell, they made a ton of money on 3 Iron Man films, and only one of them was halfway serviceable.
Right. Now, bringing this back around to these numbers, I have to say, really, you have a lot of factors here that play into how these numbers panned out for the finales of these shows and how Ahsoka played into it. By the time the Ahsoka finale rolls around, there's a lot of people who have already dropped their Disney Plus accounts. And so I wonder if that number would have been better if the show would have been released 6 months or a year early. I know it wasn't ready, but if it would have been released in that kind of time frame, would the numbers have been far better? I kind of believe they would have.
Without a doubt.
And the part of the issue I'm seeing there is, we're having I shouldn't say we're having a big celebration, but Disney is celebrating 100 years of Disney here, right? And you think about it, we talk about how big Disney is all the time and how, they are the gorilla, elephant in the room of companies, entertainment companies. They are huge.
Right.
I guess, when companies get big enough, do they, are they resting on their laurels? Are they more interested in, keeping seats on the board or what? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I want to see the scrappy, creative, let's get out there and tell a good story company, it's, you know what I'm saying?
You want Lucasfilm.
Interesting. Cause my mind hadn't gone there yet, but you're right. Yeah. It's exactly right. Wow.
It's look at Lucasfilm, right? Look at what George had to do with the big companies.
Right.
All right. They were ready to give up on him.
Yes.
20th Century Fox was done, dude.
Right.
And then bang. Like they need to take a step back and wonder, like, how do we get to that next bang like that?
Exactly.
Disney is operating like Disney, which is operating like 20th Century Fox did when they were getting ready to axe Star Wars.
Yep.
What do you need to do to get to that bang? Maybe think outside the box.
That's exactly right.
Maybe not read your message board so much and think that the people who message you every day are the people that are really the ones paying for your content.
Exactly. Well, the way I'm thinking about it is, if you're looking to catch that lightning in a bottle again, you can't do that by having an agenda of, like, here's a path we want to go down moving forward.
Yeah,
and anything that veers off that path, we're not going to do. It's like, well, wait a second. Maybe some of those things that veer off the path are going to be the lightning in a bottle for you,
Right. And I'll say this. If you're reading a review and you're thinking about taking this review seriously, if it starts with, I used to be a Disney Plus subscriber, but ignore it.
Exactly, because they're no longer participating.
Right. Yeah. First off, they're no longer paying you. Who gives a shit what they think?
Right.
But, like, no, it's just that attitude, right? If you're leading with that,
Yeah.
their mind's already made up. All right.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. It's wow. Slow news weeks, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Rabbit hole, rabbit hole, rabbit hole. All right, Doug. So I heard there was a lost X-Wing.
Yeah. This seems to be like one of the biggest stories here of late. So, I'm sure this is something everyone's heard of, but we're gonna give our thoughts and stuff here. It's so this is an original 20-inch X-Wing model used in the climactic space battle of A New Hope, thought to be lost, was sold at a heritage auction in Dallas for $3.1 million, setting a record for the most expensive Star Wars screen used prop sold. Yeah. So the X-Wing, part of the collection of late Oscar-nominated model maker Greg Jein, which was auctioned this weekend, had been thought to have been lost for decades and was recently found in a box in Jein's garage.
Good for him.
Dang. Wow. No, late Oscar nominated model.
No,
maker.
I caught that. I caught that.
Okay.
I'm saying good for him because he kept his stuff.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, never throw your toys away.
Yeah, it was his toy.
Right.
He made it. Damn it.
Yeah.
No. Okay. So this dude knew what he had. All right. Don't kid yourself.
Right.
That dude knew what he had. He knew what that was worth. He could have sold this whenever. I think.
Yeah.
At least once his contract was up. But that was pride to him, right?
Oh, absolutely.
He made that.
Yeah, totally.
That's why I say good for him.
Yeah.
And I know this is going to sound like it's not true, but like he had so much pride in that like it was his, and he kept it in a box in the garage.
Right.
He knew it was there.
Yes.
He knew it was there.
For sure.
It's not like this thing got lost in a box in a garage. This guy knew it was there.
Yep.
So good for him. So thought lost. No, he stole it.
I mean, lost meaning accounted for? No, it wasn't accounted for until now, but was never really lost. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so that's what I meant by good for him.
Yeah. Now the public knows where it's at. That's all.
Yeah, someone paid $3 million for it.
Exactly. Oh.
Man.
It's funny. It became something of a mythical white whale, the missing Star Wars X-Wing. It's like, okay, if you're this guy and you start hearing phrases like that, like this lost X-Wing, it's kind of a white whale. It's like,
Oh shit, I better hide that in the garage.
yep, my lips are sealed. I know where this is at. Longer this goes on, more it's going to be worth. Heck yeah.
Do you think he was thinking that way, or he was just
I
sitting there
mean,
going,
I
or
doubt
he was
it.
just sitting there going,
Yeah. Suckers. I know where it's at.
I know where it's at.
Exactly.
Oh man, that's great. That's great. Good on him.
Heck yeah.
And I'll tell you what, not at all surprised because I watched that Light and Magic,
Yep.
right? And you see these depictions of the crew and all that stuff, and some of the footage of those crews.
Oh yeah.
Man, what a fun group!
Yeah. They certainly loved what they were doing.
Oh yeah, and there's gonna be more of these missing props showing up over the years. I'm telling you.
Oh, I'm sure.
And they're all just sitting there going,
Yeah.
guess what I got? And then there's some people going, man, I thought this one was going to be worth something.
Yeah, exactly.
But no one seems to care
Right.
until the final inventory comes in. It's like, hey, where's turret number 43?
Exactly. Turret 43. It's about right, though. I mean,
So, yeah, that's wild, though. These props just, the number continues to astound.
yes.
Continues to astound.
And these are the people buying these things. These are collectors on another level. That's for sure. Not
You know, Disney's sitting back right now going, do we technically own these props?
Yeah. I think,
This could save Disney Plus. Go
Oh.
find them.
God, I doubt they're thinking that way. It's going to take a lot more than that to save Disney. Plus. Oh,
Oh, we're terrible.
yes, we are. That's okay.
Oh, that could have shot 15 minutes of Ahsoka.
Right. It's about right.
I'll tell you what, I gotta give it to him though, with all the uncertainty and struggle that they've been dealing with Disney Plus and subscribers, and they didn't spare expense on Ahsoka.
True.
That show, it could be a movie.
Oh, yeah.
It could be a movie, but they're scared of those. So
Yes, they are.
all right.
I tell you what, Joe.
Yeah.
What can save Disney Plus is licensing some video games.
Wow. You're
Yeah.
good, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
You knew right where I was going. They might want to broaden their horizons, but yes, I see where you're going with this.
Yes.
So this is you're talking about the Switch Star Wars Heritage Pack, right?
Yes. That is exactly what I'm talking about.
All right. Now, while I don't 100% agree with the lineup, we'll go through the lineup real quick. So, and I will say, the one thing that they are doing here that is absolute genius is getting a physical release.
Yes.
We've talked about this before. Star Wars fans,
Yes.
release physical stuff.
Absolutely.
They're going to go get it. Like, all right. Do you know how many Star Wars fans? I know the number's still going to be low, but this is a thing. And this is going to be a thing in Star Wars unlike any other franchise. Do you know how many Star Wars fans are going to go buy this that don't have a Switch?
Oh, plenty. Yeah.
Okay. Like, they don't care.
They don't care.
This is a
Exactly.
Star Wars product. They have a collection. They're
Right.
going to go buy this thing.
These are the ones who don't open up their toys anyway. They keep them wrapped in packages. They're going to get one of these because they'll just keep it wrapped up in the cellophane. It's,
Yeah, because they think it's going to be like the 70s toys that everyone played with, and that's why they're valuable.
Exactly.
But there's too many of them.
Yes.
But either way, they're releasing this Star Wars Heritage Pack, including 7 games, as a physical release on the Nintendo Switch. And the games are Star Wars Republic Commando, Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, The Force Unleashed, Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic 2, and Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Decent
Yes.
lineup. I feel like they could have booted Knights of the Old Republic 2 or Jedi Knight 2 and replaced that with the 2005 Battlefront 2.
Aha.
And this would be more appealing. I mean, it's still appealing.
I was going to say,
Right.
it's pretty appealing. I mean,
Okay. Like for me, there are 3 games in here, and it's not going to be the ones you think. 3 games in here for me where I'm like, ooh, I wouldn't mind having those on my Switch. And actually, I should only say 2 games because one of them I already have on my Switch.
okay.
But Republic Commando,
Right.
The Force Unleashed,
Right.
Episode 1 Racer.
Gotcha.
Those are my three favorite picks in there. Look, I like KOTOR along with everyone else. But I will say, Knights of the Old Republic, the replayability sucks. All right.
Really?
I tried to play through it again. I'm like, all right, I'm bored.
Okay.
It was great when it came out. Funny it didn't get the same buzz when it came out, but it's it's what it is. I mean, Jedi Knight, I played them. They're okay.
okay.
Jedi Academy is better than Jedi Outcast, in my opinion.
Okay.
It's like a lot of them, like kind of like what they did with the Force Unleashed 2, where they just kind of try to go overboard.
Right.
Even though the Force Unleashed 2 playability as a game was better, the story wasn't as good. It was more about the abilities than the story.
Gotcha.
It's Force Unleashed 2, so now he's got to have 2 lightsabers.
Right.
They just did a lot of gimmicky crap, right?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, the Force Unleashed, that is an unbelievable game. And still an unbelievable game.
Sure.
Yeah, and Republic Commando.
Right.
What can you say?
No,
Other than it's fantastic.
it's fantastic. That game I'm excited for because that is of the 7, I've only played 2. Okay. Which would be Republic Commando, which I played all the way through, and Force Unleashed. So I'm kind of excited to get this so I can sample the rest of these. You know what I'm saying?
So I will say your first go at a lot of these games, you're really going to like.
Good.
You're really going to like it. So for you, this is going to be great.
Right.
For me, replayability of a lot of these games is not so high.
Okay.
I think Battlefront 2 from 2005, I would have jumped back into that and I would have played the crap out of it.
Gotcha.
The replayability of that game is much higher than KOTOR for me. It's just, I don't know. I don't see the appeal of playing that game again. I've tried, but yeah, it doesn't have the same magic.
Right.
Story's good, but hell, there's books and things out now that I can just fill that gap with.
Right. Well, in any case, this could be something to throw in the stocking this year. For
it's
all your Star Wars
perfect
fans.
timing.
Yes. It'll be available December 8th. So
yeah.
$60 for 7 games. Well worth it in my opinion.
Yeah, $60 for 7
old games.
Been collecting dust on the shelf games.
Yes. But for the Switch.
But for the Switch, and they're all together, and it's in
right.
one case. And
exactly.
Yeah, smart.
Totally smart. This is how we save Disney Plus.
Oh man, this is how we saved it. All right, Doug, what do you think? Time to get out of here?
Yeah, I think it is.
All right. Well, if you have anything to add, please help us. You can always email us, show@thewarsmore.com. That's the best way to get a hold of us. We're also on social media at The Wars of More on Facebook. My bad. At The Wars of More on X. Facebook.com/The Wars of More. You can find all that and all the ways to find the show over at thewarsofmore.com. Any final thoughts this week, Doug?
I didn't have any initial thoughts, so.
All right.